everybody. It feels so good to be back on camera. Like, you have no idea. I've been so excited for today. Today is Sunday, and all week I've been like, Sunday. I can't wait to sit down and film because all week I've been so busy doing things that aren't fun, like adult things, other than yesterday. I celebrated my friend's birthday. Today we are going to be doing my, Frankie, don't mess with me. Today we are going to be doing my favorite brushes by Morphe. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna name this video, but something along the lines, you see it, you clicked on it, you know what it's called, it's all good. I'm talking so much with my hands, I need to chill. Don't mind the background, this is not permanent. There's been some drama llama with my new office and I'm waiting to move over there, and like this is literally just on a clothing rack and behind me is my room. See that? Smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors. So we're just gonna keep that right there and move on. So I was actually planning on sitting down and filming a makeup tutorial today. I'm so excited for my next makeup tutorial, and yes, it is a cut crease. Hey, because I have so many requests for a cut crease, and I was like, But I have seen so many requests for this video, and so many people are saying that they want me to get it up as soon as possible because they want to purchase Morphe brushes for the holidays and they want to see my suggestions. So I was like, okay, if I upload the makeup tutorial, I'm gonna have people upset that I didn't upload this one first. So I am taking the opportunity today to film this video, and then I will film my makeup tutorial in the next 2 or 3 days, and you will be seeing the makeup tutorial very soon. So with that being said, Morphe actually reached out to me and offered me an exclusive 15% off discount code for this video, which is so amazing. They did this for me as well when the 350 palette came back in stock. And it was such a huge hit, and so many of you were so grateful and appreciative for that discount code, and they have seen so many requests for this video, so they offered me another exclusive 15% off discount code for you guys, and that's only gonna last for 72 hours. I will put all the information in the bottom bar to the exact day and time that that discount code will be cut off so that you guys are fully aware of it. It is JH15 in all caps. But once that 72 hours is up, you can still get a 10% off discount code if you just use Jack Attack in all caps. That is my affiliate discount code with Morphe that I have all year round, 365 days a year, Jack Attack in all caps for 10%. Those discount codes do also work in store. I know a ton of people have asked that. And yes, if you live in the Burbank area and you're going to the Morphe store to shop, you can use that discount code in store as well, and it will apply. Those are affiliate codes. I am an affiliate with Morphe. Well, I can't talk. I am an affiliate with Morphe. I actually was their first affiliate. I don't know if you guys remember, I'm sure some of you do. The video like over a year ago, last August I believe, and I held up all their eyeshadows and I was like, I found these eyeshadows and they're $2. And they didn't even know who I was. They reached out to me and they thanked me for that video and the shout out, and then they told me that they wanted to build an affiliate program, and they made me their first affiliate actually. Because I was just so in love with their products. So I stand behind Morphe. I love their products. They are bomb. I don't think there's anyone out there that does what they do and gives you the quality that they give you with the inexpensive price point. Like, it's incredible, honest to God. And you see so many people raving about Morphe, not because anyone is getting paid, you guys. You see it because the products are good, especially for the price. If these products were hundreds of dollars, I'd be like, it's a ripoff. But these are so inexpensive and the quality is so not inexpensive. Like, it's just good stuff, honest to God. And really, the owners of this company are so amazing. It's a company, it's honestly a company that I want to give my money to. The owners are a true rags to riches story. They are a brother and sister who have come from nothing and made everything on their own. They're so incredible, and every YouTuber or blogger who has had the opportunity to meet them just falls in love with them as people. It's just, they're an amazing, amazing brand with great values. They give back, they're charitable, they're kind, they're humble. They're just great people. And so it's a company that I want to work with. It's a company that I want to give my money to because they're just an amazing company. So I just like to inform you on that. You never know. There's a lot of shady people out there. There's more shady people in business than there are honest people. So when I come across honest people, I'm like, I'm ride or die for them, and they are one of those brands. They're honest, good, hardworking people. Okay, so now that you got that backstory on Morphe, let's jump into the video. I know I can talk very quickly, so because of that, I am going to put every brush that I talk about, I'm gonna put the number down here on the screen so that you guys can see it somewhere, because I know if I'm like, this is the E504, you're gonna be like, wait, what did she say? So I'm gonna put everything on the screen as I'm talking about it so that you can see with your own eyes the name of the brush, so there's no confusion. Hopefully that'll help, because I know I can talk very quickly and start to ramble. So let's get started. It is very hard to narrow down my favorites, but I did it, and I feel like right here, these are like my substantial brushes that I'm like, yes, I use these all the time. I love them. I'm ride or die. I didn't bring any brushes into this collection that I was kind of like, I kind of like it. These are all brushes that I'm like, I love them. So that is where we're at right now. If you get the opportunity to go to the actual Morphe store in Burbank, California, do not turn that opportunity down. It is literally brush heaven. They have probably 150 different brushes and they're just lined up all over the walls. It is so overwhelming, but in the most beautiful way possible. So the first brush I'm gonna talk about is the foundation brush, and this is one of my favorite foundation brushes ever, and you guys know that because for about what, 4 or 5 months, this is the only foundation brush that I use, and I force myself to use other ones now because it's just so repetitive. But this is the M439, and I'm gonna have to look at the numbers because I don't have these memorized. This is the M439 brush. What makes this brush so amazing to me is the fact that I can use less product and get more coverage, if that makes sense. As opposed to using like a damp beauty blender that takes like half of your product. This does not steal your product because of its short synthetic density. It takes a little bit of foundation and it really spreads it out on the face. So one like this, which is the Tarte Kabuki brush, this one steals a lot of product because it has longer bristles, so it applies a more sheer coverage, which is really nice and I love it, but I do use more foundation when I'm using this brush, and I use less foundation, just like a little bit, when I'm using this one, and it spreads it further around the face and doesn't steal as much product. That's why I love this so much, and I just feel like it's the perfect size. It's not too tiny or too fat, and it just makes everything so even and beautiful. This is one of my all-time favorites right here. I want to talk about 4 different brushes from the Elite collection, and as you can tell by the name Elite, it's a more high-end luxurious collection by Morphe, but still extremely reasonably priced. They say their price point is much higher because these brushes are more elite and more like luxurious, but still they're like a quarter the price of a MAC brush, so they're still very wallet friendly. The first one I'm going to talk about is just this is my baby, and this is the E4 right here. That's the way the Elite collection goes, like E1, 2, 3, 4, because it's Elite. So E1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on. This is the blush brush. It's technically a contour brush. I personally don't like contouring with angled brushes like this. This is what I use for blush. And what I love and appreciate so much about this is everyone always wants to make their blush brushes in a natural goat hair. And I do not like applying blush with a natural goat hair. I think that it can make it go on kind of patchy. You have to go back and get so much blush because it doesn't apply it properly. This is like the most perfect blush brush in the world. Like, I wish I made it myself. It's so good. Like, I just feel like it was meant for me. Like, it is, all my dreams come true in a blush brush. I never think I'm gonna use another blush brush again. I have no desire to try one. Someone could tell me, you have to try this blush brush. It's the best in the world. I'd be like, sorry, you tell nothing but lies. This is the best. Next one we have here is the E34, and as you can see, this one is just like a nice basic brush. It's nice and round, it's pretty short, but it's not too short, so it's not too dense. What I like to use this for is blending out my bronzer. I will show you the brushes that I initially apply bronzer with. You can totally apply bronzer with this, just right on the face, perfect. But I do things just a little bit different way in my routine, and this is the brush that I will use once things are put on the face and maybe it's looking a little choppy, maybe just a little unblended. I will go over everything with this brush and just kind of blend everything out. It's a really great just face blending brush if you need to blend out your contour, your blush, whatever it may be. It's just one of those perfect size, round, dome shaped synthetic brushes that just blends everything out nice and smooth. Now we have the E3, and this one is kind of a fat guy, and if you press it out like this, it gets nice and chubby, but if you go like this, it gets a little bit more thin, and it goes up to this taper, which I love. And this is what I use. Where is my powder? Wait, where's my powder? Seriously. Where's my powder? This one I use with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I use this to set my whole face. It's just nice and smooth, and it applies powder very lightweight because we have this taperedness right here. You have bristles that are all different lengths, and that will make things be applied very sheerly as opposed to a brush like this that'll pack things on. It's all about the brush lengths that really like determine how your powder will be applied. So that's why I use this brush for a nice loose powder, because it'll apply it really smoothly and softly and won't make it like patch up, and then when you take flash photography, all of a sudden you've got like white spots on your face. This keeps everything nice and smooth. So it's just a great all over the face powder brush. This bad boy, oh my gosh, I love this brush so much. This one is actually a new one that I just grabbed from like my pile of like new brushes. I actually have 3 of these though because I love this so much. I'll tell you why. This is the E1. I have something on my face. This is the E1, and as you can see, it's really fat and it's really dense. Like, it's really, really chubby. And it's heavy too. It feels very heavyweight and luxurious. Believe it or not, my favorite thing to use this brush for is actually applying tanner to my body. If you've seen my tanning routine, I will link it down below for you guys. I know it has nothing to do with this video, but I will. You see that, like, I initially start off with this and I use this brush. Now I use this one. Actually, the past 3 times I've applied tanner on my body, I've used this on my entire body and I haven't used a mitt. I literally just use this because it's so big and fat and it gets the job done so quick and so smooth because it's synthetic. That, honest to God, this is my favorite way to apply sunless tanner now. The other way that I will use this is if I do my foundation and I haven't tanned in a while, my foundation is too dark, and I have like a line right here, I will take some bronzer on this brush and I will just apply some of it and kind of bring it down. That's another thing I use this for. So basically, I use this as a body brush. But if you are a powder girl, if you like powder foundation and you want a full coverage, this would be your go-to right here. If you want a sheer coverage, I would do this. If you want a full coverage, this right here will get the job done and apply your powder like done. So now for contour brushes, I have 2 contour slash bronzer. We're gonna go through both of them. And this one is the M523. Oh my God, I love this one so much. It is the most amazing contour brush. I think I used it on camera for the first time. Maybe I'm telling lies. I'm not really quite sure, so don't quote me on that. I love this. This is my go-to contour brush now because it's not too skinny. The NARS Ita brush, I'm not comparing anything, but the NARS Ita brush, you guys know I've been ride or die for this for several years, and I still absolutely love it. But the one thing that I've heard other people complain about is that once they put the line on their face, it's kind of difficult to blend that line out. And I get it. You have to really like be kind of careful with the way you apply it, and you do that. With this brush, you don't have to worry about that because of the density. Again, it's tapered. We have shorter bristles down here, and then it goes up to longer bristles. That makes it so that when you put this on, it doesn't create this harsh line that you can't blend out. It makes it really easy to blend out your contour, and it's not like a drag queen contour where it's like extremely cut off. It makes it nice and soft and a more natural, like Kim K contour. I can't believe I just referenced Kim K. Next one is basically a bigger, fatter daddy version of this one. Like, they pretty much have the same shape almost, but this one is just like King Kong, and this one is like tiny. So this is the 527 brush. I love this for bronzing. I would not consider this a contour brush though, but it's an amazing bronzing brush. I love it. It gets it on so quick and so beautifully. I have been loving the, where am I? I don't even know where it is. Here we go. I have been loving this Luminous Bronze Light bronzer from Hourglass recently, and I use this brush to apply it. I just go in like this, tap it off, and I just apply it all over the face like that. I love it. It just makes it so smooth because, like I said, I love applying bronzer with natural hairs for some reason. Blush and other areas of the face, I like a synthetic brush. But bronzer, I really, really like the more natural hairs to apply it because it just makes it so natural looking and so smooth. And bronzer is something that I do not want to apply too generously. Otherwise, it can go south real quick, and that's what the goat hair will prevent. It'll apply less product and make it more smooth and more blendable. So that's why I love this brush. Okay, this brush I cannot live without. I will make a bronzer slash contour blush highlight baking video. I see the request for that, so I will do that soon. I'm just trying to get through like all the holiday videos, but this brush, you'll see me use it in that video. This is the M459 brush. You see me use this whenever I bake in my videos, and I just like go like this. You can see there's powder on it right now, and I stamp out the area that I really want to chisel. That's what I love for this so much. I've never actually used this for contour. You can see all my Laura Mercier powder in there. But I've never actually used this to contour because it's too harsh. I would not like the way this contours, I can just tell. But it is like perfection for carving out your contour. So if you're sloppy, you just good to go. Yesterday, my friend Micah was here, and her bronzer was kind of all over the place at the end of the day and not looking sharp, not looking clean. So I literally just grabbed this brush and went boop, 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 and then just wiped it off, and it looked nice and tight and clean again. That's what I love about this brush. It's such a great method, and it's such a great brush to do that method with. You guys see me use this brush in every video. Oh my goodness gracious. This is the 438, and I use this one to set my under eye area no matter what I'm setting it with, no matter what powder. This is the brush I use, and I also use it to clean up down here any of the powder that I'm applying, and to like set the chin area. I use it to set the forehead with highlight. Like whatever I am doing that is like a lighter powder, this is what I use to do that. It's a great brush. It applies things nice and gently, again, because you have the tapered area, the shorter brushes that go to the longer ones, and it's just such a great brush. Sigma has one that's like the exact same pretty much right here. This is their like gold collection. It's like the exact same brush, but the Morphe one's just cheaper. This is my baby. This is the M501 brush. It's the only brush that I actually have to look at the numbers. I just know off the top of my head. This is the brush that I use for highlighting. It's not technically a highlight brush. I don't remember what they technically marketed it as, but as soon as I got it, I was like, this is perfection for highlighting, and it's what I have used ever since. I use a lot of other brushes for highlight, and like I test them out. Like if people send me a brush in the mail or send me things to try, I'm like, for sure, I try it. And I'm like, this is it. I always go and end up grabbing this one and applying my highlight with this brush because I just feel like it applies it nice and nice and gently and smooth, and I just get the outcome that I desire. I don't get too much and I don't get too little. So the M501, my favorite highlight brush. I get asked this all the time. This is it right here by Morphe. Now we are going to move on to eye brushes, and the first one I want to talk about is actually the first brush that I would go in with when doing any eye look, like the one I did today. This is what I used, or smoky eye. This is the first brush that I would recommend going in with, and this is the Morphe, and obviously it's by Morphe Jaclyn, get it together. This is the M441 brush. So you would take like your lightest transition shade and then just go ahead and apply it right here in that transition area. And if you're wondering what the transition area is, it's the space between your eyelid and your brow bone. Right there, you would put a really light color, and that's gonna be the transition to when you're doing any eye look that's gonna kind of fade out. The transition from like a heavy eye to nothing. So that's the brush that I would use for that area. It is a natural hair, so it applies it really nice and soft and smooth. It doesn't like put on like a dense amount because you don't want that when you're working high up in this area. This brush was created for this high up area and keeping it nice and smooth. So M441. This one is a ride or die. Can't live without this brush. This is my absolute favorite eye brush of all time, and this is the M433 brush. I talked about this in a favorites video a few months back. I have a couple of these because I'm constantly using this brush for everything. This is the most like multi-functional brush that I own because you can pack stuff on all over the lid with this. You can blend it out, you can go high, you can go low, you can go under the eye, you can do anything with this. So the M433 has to be my favorite eyeshadow brush by Morphe, but what I use this one for typically, and as you see in all my tutorials, I use this brush every single time, is packing on a color in the outer crease. Because of the shape, again, you have shorter bristles out here and then barely longer ones in the center, but ever so slightly, so it's not too intense, but it just makes it so that it applies it so smoothly and it's so easy to blend out. It's just such a good brush. It's such a freaking good brush. And then if you don't have product on it, yes, I'm using my leggings, no judgment. If you get the product off of your brush, it makes a great brush to also apply up higher in the transition area as well. It's just shorter and a little bit more denser than the original one that I talked about. So you can see the difference. Sorry, we're out of focus. You can see the difference right there. This one will just apply a little less product, and this one applies a little more, which is why I initially like to go in with this one, the M441, and then go in with the M433. Next, we have the E22. This is a part of the Elite collection since it has the E in front of it and it is synthetic. This one is really different, and I love that about it. So this one goes up to a nice taper, as you can see, very short bristles on the side. They get longer and longer and longer to a nice pointed taper, which is great for when you're doing something right in this crease. So if you want to add depth and you want to keep it low and you want to make sure that it doesn't go up too high into that transition area, one like this might not be your best friend if you're working in that area and you want to keep it precise because it is so fluffy, which is what I love about it because it blends everything out so nicely. But this one, on the other hand, it doesn't blend it out as much, but it keeps it nice and low and tight. So now I have 4 smaller brushes, more like precision brushes, which I absolutely cannot live without. Precision brushes I feel like are something that can be really overlooked in the brush community, but for me personally, they are just as important as the blending brushes to get nice and precise on an eye look. And the first one is the M321. I love this for packing on dark colors. So sometimes, like, if you want to get something really nice and tight, like low in this area, in the outer corner, sometimes when you're using brushes like this, they're a little too big and you feel like you can't get it right. You can't get it like as dark as you want it to be because they're big and they're more for like the crease area. This brush, that's where this comes in and is the star of the show. It picks up so much product and gets it so tight and dense on that eye and makes it so dark. It's so amazing, and because of the fact that it is synthetic and it's not a natural hair, it puts so much product on your actual lid and makes it nice and dark, which I absolutely love this brush for that. This is not a pencil brush though, don't get it confused. It's nice and rounded, but I would not use this really for blending out the lower lash line unless you have no product on this and you already put product on there and you're just blending it out with this being completely bare, then you could use it. But I really wouldn't use this as a pencil brush. I would use it more for packing on. Hoping that makes sense. But speaking of pencil brushes, this is the E18, and this is a great pencil brush. You guys have seen me use this many times. You guys have seen me use all these many times, let's get real. This one is really, really nice for blending things out. It is a little bit of a longer pencil brush, so when you're packing like the color on the brush, what I do is I make sure not to like let my brush go side to side, otherwise you're gonna get all the product on the side. When using a pencil brush, just make sure you go doop, 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 like that to get the product on. Just up and down, and maybe a little swirl, and then tap off the excess. You don't wanna go like this. Otherwise, if you get it on the side, now it's gonna be sloppy. So when you're blending out your lower lash line, just boop, boop, into the product, and then go in and begin just to blend using just the tip of it, and that's how you'll get that really nice, smooth, smoked out lash line. And for smoking out that lash line, this is the most important brush. I physically could not do my makeup without this brush. I use it every day, and this is the M432, and it's just a flat definer brush. It's completely and totally flat, as you can see on the top, nice and tight. This is the brush that I go in with my blacks, my dark browns, my dark purples, whatever it may be, and get nice and tight. What is on my face? And get nice and tight on that lower lash line to make it get right in there, and then I will go in and blend it out with a pencil brush such as this one right here. This one is also amazing for like smoking out your top liner. You guys have seen me do that a million times. Or if you're doing a more neutral, natural look, you can take like a dark brown on this brush and just use that strictly for your eyeliner and just put it right on your lash line. You can also put this underneath of your lashes right here and kind of darken up the lash area and kind of tight line. These little definer brushes are just so amazing, and I just love them so much. I can't do my makeup without definer brushes. And this one, believe it or not, is actually my favorite definer brush I think of all time. This is the E36. Again, it's from their Elite collection. It's the last brush that I have to talk about. And when I started using this, I was like, how have I ever gone through my life without this little brush right here? This is what I use to highlight my inner corner, and it is so perfect. Once you have a brush like this to highlight the inner corner of your eyes, you're just like, what am I ever supposed to use ever again? Like, this is the inner corner queen right here. It's just so perfect to get in there and highlight and not make it too messy. Because with an inner corner highlight, if you're using frost like I do, like MAC Nylon eyeshadow, if you get that down here too far, like in this area, now it looks like you have bags. And if you get it too close to the nose, and now it's too much. You want that inner corner highlight to be nice and precise, and that's what I love about this brush so much. So that's it, you guys. I feel like I powered through that video. Like, I really hope that you guys enjoy this. These are my all-time absolute favorite Morphe brush, absolute favorite Morphe brushes at the moment. I of course have other ones right here that I really enjoy as well, but these are like my ride or die homies for life. So if you guys want me to do an updated one down the road, you know, like 5 or 6 months from now, I will totally do another one, I'm sure. But at the moment, these are like my bitches that I can't live without. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Again, we have that coupon code for you for 15% off. And if you missed the 15% off or you just don't want to buy right now, I always have the 10% off code for you guys as well. And that is on all things Morphe, including their eyeshadow palettes. And their eyeshadow palettes are bomb. Their eyeshadow palettes are better than their singles, in my opinion, like their $2 singles. I think the palettes are better. The palettes keep getting higher and better quality, and they are so good, so impressive. So that's it, you guys. I love you. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next couple of days with a makeup tutorial that I am so excited about. So yeah, that's it. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you so much. You're such a peach. What?
Something when you said that, you're like, I like it so sweet, so sugary that you can, as you take a sip, you're crunching on sugar.
That's disgusting. Haired goat. Now I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the eye brushes that I picked out. I have to sneeze. Never mind. How did I get that confused with the sneeze? When you have lipstick on, does anyone else drink like this? Next we have the E22, and this is a part of the Elite collection. Since it has the E in front of it, that's how you know. That's how you know he loves you. Oh my gosh, did you see Georgie?
No.
He just sat down and scooted his ass across the floor.
He's been doing that lately.
George, what's wrong? You got a problem with the booty? Side note, the E1 makes a bomb-ass microphone. Just saying. Every time that I'm in front of the mirror and I'm getting my Christina Aguilera on, I'm like, hey, yeah. You don't even know. So you better get this by 2.5 weeks, because I'm not one of those YouTubers who has my act together. Like, let's get real. I can hear you always. I'm a ninja. You always forget this.